So for me, I think what is an important issue when it comes to women's rights is reproductive rights. Like I said, in some ways the government is forward thinking in that there is access to reproduction. There is like it's free contraception. It's relatively available, widely available. It's free in government hospitals. But then we have culture and tradition preventing women from getting access to those sorts of things. So if you, for example, wanted to get access in a hospital, although it's their job, and if you were a young woman, the nurse who was supposed to give you would ask you, are you married? You know, what are you doing? That sort of thing. So there is a barrier still, despite the government's efforts to do that. And then coupled with that, you now have things like maternal deaths due to abortion. So abortion is illegal in Nigeria. But if you don't have access to contraception and you get pregnant, people are going to attempt abortions, which they do. So a lot of deaths from abortion, so a lot of maternal deaths due to sort of the degradation in the health system, which I believe would largely be solved by better access to contraceptive care. So from my perspective, that is something that is really a major factor. It also causes, women to not be able to earn enough. You have too many children, there's likelihood of abuse, and because they're then given to families to work as help in the homes, as young as the ages of 8. So you can imagine what will go on in those sort of situations. Now, with regards to that again, another consequence of that is vesicovaginal fistulas. So in like northern Nigeria, because of the large number of, people having a large number of children who they cannot take care of, they are married off early. And then they end up having gynecological issues, which is most likely VVF, where, there is due to obstructed labor, the channel between the uterus and the rectum, or the uterus and the bladder, gets dissolved, and then they start leaking urine and feces. There is actually a camp in one of the northern states in Nigeria where they go and dump these young children after they've had these issues, and the husband just go dump them. So I think those are some of the issues that I think are significant when it comes to women's rights, or that affect women in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, CE. So the Declaration on Women's Sex-Based Rights, which we're promoting, is really aimed at helping to implement women's human rights around the world, as sort of has been proposed and by the United Nations. So all of these issues are things we're really working on, and we see a threat to them. But because of the situation in some countries where transgenderism isn't an issue, we're more interested really in the other implementation of women's rights. So that's so interesting, you telling us that.